Well, here we are, yet another episode of the Omnicast. Of course, this is episode 3, and we're going to get into a little bit of a mixture of things in this episode. You know, I had mistakenly said that last week's episode with the interview with Michael was the last take on Antiseptic Soul. That was the last set of clips from their, well, not clips, but, you know, whole songs from their demo. But in this episode, the first thing we're going to see is the end of Antiseptic Soul, and then, of course, we will begin our, you know, talking about the pincushion, or rather, just pincushion 2020. I keep calling it the pincushion, but that's just a pure mistake. Also, in this, you know, you'll hear some stuff, you know, that some comical stuff like what annoys Michael, and also a little bit of a political discussion on my end. Of course, a lot more of that's going to be coming soon, and yes, I will also be going towards the end of this talking about the top 5 things that happened in WWE in this past week. So I'll probably wrap up the show with that. So with that, a whole lot of stuff to come in this episode. I hope you enjoy. Now, let's get back to the interview with Michael. So, the reason why, the last thing, not the reason why, but obviously I'm trying to establish the history of your involvement in music. And obviously, and it's like the appropriate indecency segments of what I'm going to call the Omnicast, where I talk about anything and everything. I want it to be funny at times, I want it to be serious at times. We talked about this because we like to do our nerd shit as well from time to time. Yeah. All of that's all well and good. I have a whole bunch of content I'm going to put on here from all my other podcasts I've been involved in, except for the ones with Gary. I'm wanting to, because he and I have our own thing. I'm wanting to put all my personal podcasts, including the one with you, on here. And also wanting to do special guests and stuff from time to time, just trying to do some cool stuff with it. Anyways, I established the history of all of this, and the last thing I want to talk about regarding Antiseptic Soul was my all-time favorite performance of you guys, the one at the high school, at the talent show.
I can't find the video for it.
It was on Tony's profile.
I can't find it anymore.
Which is depressing because I tried looking for it too.
It's man, I want to.
It's such a good performance because at the end of there's a number of things that are awesome about that performance that I loved hearing because I would listen to it numerous times. I know Mom loved it too. Number one, the way the crowd reacts when you guys started performing.
Yeah, once I started singing, the crowd lost their shit.
Yeah, they lost it. And you said there was like over 1,000 people that were in the auditorium?
Yeah, it was about.
Because I recently was in that same auditorium to do the political debate that I was in.
Yeah.
So I was in that candidate forum, and we were in that same auditorium. My very first thought when I came up there, the last Crawford who was up there was you doing your thing. And here I was trying to do my thing. So the awesome thing about that, like, number one, I love the crowd reactions before, in the middle, as Corey and Tony start performing, like they start cheering with that, and then when you start singing, like you said, they erupted, they lost their shit.
I love
then
that.
After you guys were done, they lost their shit again. Now, the one thing that's not in the video, though, because it just captures the beginning and end of the song.
Yeah.
The one thing that's, like, I love the light show and everything you guys got going on.
They did a good job with the lights.
I mean, they're really good about that stuff. But I remember you mentioned after the show, a lot of people in the audience, arguably even most of them, were wanting you guys to win the talent show, but you guys didn't.
We had a few people come up to us and say that it was bullshit that we didn't win. That was like right after we stayed until the end of the talent show, and as we were leaving, like I had a couple people come up to me and say something to me. Like at least 2-3 people came up and was like, "I don't understand why you guys didn't win. You guys killed it," and blah blah blah. Right. We actually got one of my friends on Facebook. Ashley. What is her last name?
So Ashley Dodson, you were saying?
Yeah, Ashley Dodson. She was actually really a big fan of ours for a while, and
would she come to some of your guys' shows and stuff?
She came to. She saw the high school show. I can't remember if she came to any of the other ones, but I remember one time she came over to band practice and gave us a fan sign because she, if I remember correctly, she had it in the crowd during the talent show.
That's awesome.
And she gave it to us, and we hung it up in the band room, and it was awesome.
A little inspiration for you guys.
Oh yeah, it kept the.
But I know that was like the highlight there because Mom got to watch your guys' performance online.
Like the things I wish I could put out to the public Like, if I could go back and do anything, I would record constantly, because, like, honestly, the stuff that you hear online, in my opinion, has nothing on how it started to sound before I made my departure.
It would have been better.
So good.
Sorry, I'm not going to interrupt you there, right? It would have been better if you guys had recorded like how Korn recorded Clown. They did it in the studio together.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like as a band performance.
Yes.
That's why one of the reasons why Clown came out so awesome.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. It's just it was amazing. It was amazing. It was.
They still had a studio recording, which was just awesome.
Yeah, it wasn't like studio. It was technically in the guy's house, but he had studio quality.
Right. I just remember we all like Mom had to give them some money to pay for it and everything.
Yeah.
Which is cool. But now with technology the way it is, over a decade later,
well, Mom paid a little bit for that. I think it was like $250.
Yeah. I remember.
Something like that. Corey's mom fitted most of the bill, and if I'm not mistaken, she actually also footed the bill for me to get voice lessons, which I only went to one class.
Right.
And it was more just like an introduction class. Like, she taught us a couple tricks on how to
use your voice
more and everything, and she actually kind of...
Didn't you stop going because of what happened with the bands falling out?
No, what happened was Mom needed me. She actually called me on the way back from the voice lesson and told me that she needs me 24/7. That's when I started.
And that's when
I
the care started from Mom. We could definitely get into that at another time if we ever get to that, because it is just such a tough subject. But but that was kind of, unfortunately, everything with Mom at the end there, and I will never put blame on Mom because she was not to blame. It's just we had our responsibility.
My mental state, honestly, is what to blame.
Right.
For the
but I mean, it was all connected.
Yeah.
In some way.
It was connected, but Mom will never be the reason.
No. She was a lot of the inspiration.
No, I'm the reason why shit happened the way it happened. Right. I should have seen certain things happening, and if I would have,
within the band?
Yeah, well, not within the band, because it wasn't even within the band. It was me. I was showing up late, and certain things were happening. I was actually to the point of where it was like I couldn't go like 2 seconds without being high or having some sort of alteration with my mind. I was just in a very, 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 very bad spot, and
there was a lot of stuff going on.
But either way, back to something else that we were saying earlier, but we kind of segued out of it.
Sure. Ready? I said, are you ready? You're not ready? Thank you, honey. I'll hold that open. Hey! Close the door on me. Sound like a metal Tyrannosaurus Rex is coming in here with that dump truck. Okay. Don't worry, I'll unlock it. I think I already unlocked it. But I'll open it. Freaking tree is in the way. Alright, buddy, go ahead. You can do it. You can do it. There you go. Alright. Yeah! Woohoo! So you kids ready to fight? Why not? You don't want to. That's not an answer, Austin. It's not the answer you need to give. When I say you're ready to fight, you need to say, I'm ready. And you put your dukes up. You don't want a round two?
No.
You don't want a round two? So you admit I won? Oh, you admit I won? Yeah, that's right. High five. High five for Dad winning.
No.
No? No high five for Dad winning?
Yeah, win.
You said I won.
No, you didn't.
I said, do you admit I won? You said, yeah. You said that twice.
No.
No? Madison, who do you think won between your brother and I? You gotta say it.
Austin.
Austin? You think Austin won?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He didn't win.
I did.
No. No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No. I will beat you again. I will beat you here in the car. Even if we wreck.
Raise your hand if you think Austin won.
No, I almost raised my hand. No, this is not how it works. I don't know why I almost raised my hand.
2v1.
No, no, no. Austin did not win. I won. I won. Brats.
You're the brat here.
I'm not the brat. You're the brat.
You're the nerd.
Well, I mean, you're right, but still, you're the brat. I'm definitely a nerd. I have to own that. So, yeah. Anyways, moving on. How about a noogie, Austin? No? No noogies? Why not? Why no noogies? Why don't you want a noogie?
Because I don't.
Because you don't? That's not an answer. You have to justify your lack of desire for a noogie, Austin. What's wrong with the noogies, huh?
I want one.
You don't want one. That doesn't describe what's wrong with it. What is so bad about noogies that you're not allowed to have one? You're not letting yourself have one. You're not letting me give you a noogie.
Yeah, because I want you to.
It's a family tradition, Austin. I gotta give you noogies.
That was a family tradition.
A family tradition that I started. Actually, no, that my dad kind of started on me. I don't know who did it to him, but still, I have to pass on the noogie tradition, Austin. And then you have to pass on your noogie tradition to someone else. Okay? Yes. Yes, you do. So if you ever have kids, you have to noogie them. And then, of course, they will occasionally try to noogie you too. So, alright. How about a noogie? In 3, 2, 1, 0. Let's go. You can't block me. No, I wasn't counting down because of the light, Austin. I was just counting down in general. You have to let me give you a noogie when I count down from 3. Okay, so let's do it one more time. So in 3, 2, 1, noogie time. Let's go. Austin, quit blocking me. We gotta do this noogie. Madison's too far behind.
Madison would appreciate
Okay, I guess I'll go.
too.
What was that?
Madison would appreciate it too.
Madison would appreciate a noogie? I know she would, but she's next. Wood int? Wood int? What's an int? Why does it live in wood? Look. What? What'd you just call me?
Stupid.
No. No. That's not how this goes. You don't call me stupid, and oh my god, I got hit with armpits. No, the armpit assaulted me just now. Like, my nose is screaming in agony because of the invasion of my nose hairs. Austin's like, just like waved his armpit, and my nose was like, oh god, please, no! And that's how it happened. But back to the noogie conversation. I must give you a noogie.
No.
Now, this is going to be the last chance that I give you to let me give you the noogie. Otherwise, it's going to be all chaos, and it's going to be hammer time. So, in 5, 4, okay, I forgot to tell. When I count down from 5, it will let me give you a noogie. So, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We got to wait for... Okay. I don't want to get hit by this truck. 1. Noogie time. Let's go. Austin! Why do you block the noogies?
I want you to give me one.
Fine. That's it. I told you it's hammer time. Let's cue the music. Hammer time. No. Come on. Quit blocking it during hammer time. No. Come on. Austin.
You gotta let it have your arm.
I gotta use it to drive.
The other one.
I don't have like multiple hands here, Austin, except for, well, I mean, I do have 2, so that is multiple, but I'm just saying, I don't have more than 2. So I need this hand to drive.
You're an idiot.
So, see, if I was an idiot, I wouldn't know that I needed 2 hands to drive, Austin.
Yeah, but you're an idiot.
I know he's an idiot in this fucking red car trying to hit me in the ass with his fucking car. I swear you fucking hit me, asshole. And I'm going to punch you right in your bunghole. That's what's going to happen.
What the heck?
She'll be like, why are you bending me over to punch you in the asshole? That's what's going to happen. Now you'll shit and it'll hurt. All right. Fine. 3, 2, 1, noogie time. No, noogie time. No, noogie time. All right.
You barely got me.
I got you. I barely and still got you.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. 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 In the words of Daniel Bryan, yes. Dakota Access Pipeline and Keystone Pipeline. What are these things, and why are they suddenly back in our vocabulary? Well, recently the newly inaugurated President Biden issued an executive order, or a series of executive orders, to which discontinued the previous executive orders by his predecessor, President Trump. And amongst these executive orders were directives to cease and desist any further activity with respect to the Keystone and Dakota Access Pipelines. I think it's mostly just the Keystone. I'm not sure if he actually addressed the Dakota Access Pipeline, but the big controversy is surrounding the Keystone Pipeline. And there's this controversy around it because supposedly thousands of jobs, I think it's 15,000 jobs was lost, or 50,000, something like that. But the truth is, as has been reported numerous times, back to when President Obama was in office, the jobs that are actually being lost aren't the thousands of temporary jobs. It's actually more the 50 or so permanent jobs. I think it's just 50. It was like the maximum permanent jobs that would be required to manage and keep an eye on this pipeline. And all of this is not even taking into account the fact that the pipeline transfers extremely dirty oil, what's called tar sands oil, for use. And this oil isn't even benefiting us. Number one, it's owned by and distributed by a corporation that is not even American. It's a Canadian corporation. And on top of that, you have the fact that this oil will be going to China long before it even comes to us. So, and not just China, but other third world countries as well. But that's where the demand is. That's where the lion's share of the demand is in China. It's in India. Throughout the third world, where the demand for cars is actually going up compared to here in the States. So that's where the controversy is. It's right-wing media and, of course, Republicans. They've come together and tried to make this claim that this is hurting us, that this is anti-American, this ending of the Access Pipeline. But there's three major factors. Like I said, four actually. Number one, there's only a few dozen jobs that are actually being lost in the long term. There's thousands of temporary jobs in the process of building it, but only a few dozen jobs that are actually being lost in the long term. Number two, corporation that owns it isn't even American, it's Canadian. Number three, the oil doesn't even come to us. Number four, the oil is extremely dirty. It's actually worse than regular oil because of how it's extracted and how it's broken down. So that's the issue when it comes to these pipelines. The fact is, we need to get away from oil, and we won't even have this controversy anymore. So with that in mind, I thank you all for listening to this, my rant on the pipelines and how it pertains to, or rather doesn't really pertain to any kind of loss of jobs. This is just the reality of this mess that we live in with all this misinformation. It's that people don't even know what they're talking about at the end of the day. And that is, my friends, a very, very unfortunate thing. So, thank you for listening, and we will catch you next time.
Talking about the album.
What do you mean, the new album?
Yeah, the new album, and I was saying that we're aiming to release 3 albums this year.
Yeah. So there's going to be Pincushion. Next one's going to be what?
Marionette.
All right. What's the third one supposed to be after that?
Working title.
What's the working
but
title?
we think we have what it was supposed to be already. We just moved back Marionette. We just moved back that title for Marionette because me and Bragg.
You guys had a concept in mind.
Well, he had a certain concept with the one, and I kind of talked to him about it. I was like, hey, how about it be this? Because the concept was like you're being controlled and everything. And I was like, well, we have a lot of things that control us, and our main control with us is our emotions. Our emotions control our actions super heavy.
Right.
We either do or don't do things because of certain emotions. Like our emotion of love or our caring for something or our passion for something. It's something that has to do with how much we care and love and all this other shit.
Right.
And like love makes us feel this way and love makes us want to do this and blah 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 blah. There's a lot to it, but it kind of became marionette because we are the marionettes and our hearts are controlling us. And that's the reason why the imagery for the album cover is the way it is.
Lazy boys with lazy bars drive you crazy like racing cars.
Right.
But yeah.
Real quick question about the album cover. Now, the album cover for Pincushion is like a teddy bear who is basically it's a pincushion teddy bear.
It's kind of like a voodoo doll.
Okay, I guess it is more of a voodoo doll. It kind of reminded me of like the Issues, like Korn's album Issues.
I brought that up to Bragg. Bragg's the one that made that. He does all the artwork.
Okay, that's what my question was going to be is who did the artwork?
Bragg did the artwork. I came up with the concept look of marionette, but he took liberties and he made his own shit. I thought of it as something else. I was thinking about both of us being controlled by a marionette, but he took not marionette, but by the fucking things that hold him up. I can't remember what they're called.
I know what you mean. Yeah, the little sticks that they use.
Yeah, the strings are on. Yeah,
I can't remember what they're called. Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called either. But either way, I was thinking about both of us being marionettes. Like we're like
we were
puppets.
actually the puppets.
Yeah,
we're kind of dangling there.
Yeah. But he took that concept and instead of making two different marionettes, he made a marionette
holding you like mended together. Or?
It's holding both of our heads.
Okay.
That's the photo.
I see. So the marionette itself is holding you guys.
Yeah. And in the middle of the marionette, you see the broken heart, and it's to symbolize our emotions controlling us.
Okay. So that's cool. So you have a working title for the third one. You haven't quite figured out what the name is going to be.
Well, I'm pretty sure, but I'm not going to release that yet.
Okay.
I'm actually going to leave that up to Bragg.
So what's the time frame? Do you guys still have a time frame for Marionette when it's going to come out?
Marionette is probably going to drop somewhere around between May and July. It all honestly depends on how fast we're able to record
at the time.
Because weather's kind of fucked up. I had some situations with my car.
Yeah.
Plus, Bragg is kind of sick at the moment, so I can't go up there.
It's kind of hard to record at home and send them stuff.
Yeah, well, he wants me to get this certain microphone that you can hook up to your phone.
Right.
And I'll be able to
do
do
effects
that
with it and stuff, I would imagine.
Well, no, you can record kind of like how we're doing on here, but
it's like really good quality.
Really good quality. It's like studio quality, and he can mix it.
I'm sure you can just Google that and find that stuff.
Well, yeah. He said there's one for like $40 or some shit like that.
Cool. Yeah, that's pretty within range.
But I like to do it in person. I like to be there.
Oh, of course.
It's
there's something special about that.
Yeah, and like having the headphones on. He wants me to get these certain headphones too, and like.
Well, a little bit of advice.
We have all the songs.
Well, a little bit of advice. Here's like a little idea for that. You can have you have two different phones for it, or like your computer. Hook it up like through Bluetooth to headphones.
Yeah.
And then just record on a microphone with another one. I know you still kind of want to be there in person because it's all about being in that moment. But that's like one idea for.
Oh yeah. No. I was actually thinking about doing that.
That's just one possibility.
Man, here we come, I'm powered up and I'm made of metal. I'm bitch, you'll see you later, homie. Stir macaroni, you can have an apple. I'm making moves, no one never lose. Eat a bag of shrews and I dust your castle.
So, regarding this, album, the great thing, like I was alluding to earlier, is you had to pay for that studio quality stuff back over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Now, with the way technology is, how easily accessible. Thousands of dollars for a lot of these cases.
Well, I think for one studio session of I think it was like 8 hours or so. I think we paid. Well, I think because technically Corey's mom paid. Corey's mom footed the bill, and it was like. I think it was like $1,800, $2,000, something like that.
That's insane.
I can't remember the exact price, but it was anywhere between $1,800 and like $2,500.
And that was really important. Everyone's parents supporting your guys' effort.
Oh yeah! Oh my God! Like
Corey's parents.
Have no idea how much it takes to really be in this shit. And
right.
Like just doing the little things. Like don't get me wrong, me and Bragg have it easy compared to what it would have been back then.
Yeah.
Because now it's relatively fucking easy as shit. As long as you know how to mix or you have somebody that knows how to mix shit.
Right. I just
do it
remember who
properly.
the original bassist was for Nicotine. It was Chaz, wasn't it?
Yeah, Chastity, yeah.
Yeah, Chaz. I just remember that.
Yeah.
Anyways, go on. So the cool thing, like I said, is with the technology nowadays, how easily accessible it is. It's affordable now. You can have this stuff on your computer.
phone.
Right. And that's just the awesome thing. You guys
both
can make
my single songs off that album before I go.
what beats you created yourself.
are beats that I created. I created those myself.
Passions of a tortured soul. Believe me, I've lost all control. Looking for that one Messiah to relieve this pain and take me higher. Keep me from that burning fire. But the sins I've acquired, the devil's pulling me below. So I kill you all before I go.
And I use this app on my phone called GroovePad.
See, that's just awesome.
Wait, is it called GroovePad?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think you told me
GroovePad.
once because I was going to
One
use it
word.
for, and that's just awesome.
Oh yeah, and I have one of the beats for our songs up on it right now. Because I practice it almost every day.
Is this for one of your new songs?
Yeah.
I'm going to get it.
And that's all.
And that's an exclusive here for like the first few seconds of one of Michael's
I'll give you the
upcoming
name
songs.
of the song too. That song's called Blunt Therapy Session.
One therapy session. So,
Very, 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 very deep song. Like, don't take the name like.
because it sounds comical.
Well, it sounds comical, but when you listen to this shit, like,
So, Pincushion.
yeah.
Pincushion has a
Fucking
mixture of both
crazy.
comedy and seriousness.
Well,
but you said this next one's going to be a lot more serious. This next one is.
Well, honestly, Pincushion is a bit more serious
Oh, I know.
than let me pull up the track list.
So I'm here, sitting here preparing dinner for my kids while I'm trying
Yeah.
to listen to you here. So you got this track list here. Now I say there's a lot of comedy because even the serious stuff you have some comedy. And
Well, yeah, we
So-
well the reason why is because we like to cut through some of the seriousness
yeah.
with the
Make it
touch
enjoyable.
of with the touch of comedy because we laugh at our pain. We and even though we're crazy, we
some of the
put
inspiration
some
from
comedy
that,
in it.
what we see with ICP and stuff, and is that some of the inspiration,
Well,
their style? Or?
see, we don't want anybody to sit here and think just because like occasionally we'll wear face paint or anything that we are trying to be ICP, because we are far from trying to be literally anything but ourselves, and that's the
Right.
reason why we're so unique with our sound. And like I get it, people out there have similar subject matter in their music and
Right.
and shit like that, but we don't want to be anybody but us. Like, don't get me wrong, like inspiration as from where we came from of that, like maybe in lights, like we got inspiration from everything from Eminem to ICP to Tech Nine, all the way to Jonathan Davis through to Nathan Explosion from Death Clock. Like
So you definitely
we have such a
hear
wide
Jonathan
variety.
Davis.
What am I fighting for? All the blood has been paid. My defenses are broken. What is darker this night? Lay me down upon my shield. This time I'm choosing not to fight.
Inspiration in there. Obviously, definitely hear the inspiration from the Juggalos, because obviously you consider yourself to be a Juggalo.
We are definitely juggalos. We are. I'll touch on that subject
At another time.
because that I could go on for hours about that one because some shit has changed in the community.
You literally had an episode where you talked about going to the gathering.
Yeah,
And,
I love the gathering. Love the
You
gathering.
just went to a second gathering too.
Yep.
What was it, last year, right?
Yep. This past year, I went back home.
Right.
Oh my God, I love being the guy. The only
And they weren't even going to come back in the area.
is having them fucking like M80s thrown at your fucking like feet and shit.
That was from someone in the crowd, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's a few people that do that. I'm not a big fan of that because
Oh,
like,
is it a tradition?
well, it's kind of a thing that some people do. Like, I'm not a big fan of it because like if that
M80s
shit
are
lands,
explosive.
well, that shit hits, if that shit explodes as like you step on it or something, you're fucked.
Right.
Because those are fucking loud, and I had some of that shrapnel fucking smack me hard as fuck.
Oh,
But
I remember you mentioned that.
Yeah. Other than that, like it's a fucking fun experience. Like you're gonna have the fucking time of your life, and if like you're really social, man, you're gonna meet some really good people. Like,
Oh yeah, from all around the country, even the planet.
yeah, well, from around the planet. Yeah, people come from all around the world to come to the gathering. But either way, back to what I was saying. Like I got the, no, you're good. I got the, we got ADD. It's all good.
Yeah.
You know I had to hold my soul steady. I was born as a kid, hard to show. Now darkness grows. Why am I so torn? Trying to stay in the light, but I'm lost in the night. Spiritually falling many levels, tortured, cheated, that's why y'all fight. Turning angels in the devil.
And now, as promised, here we go with my quick top 5 review of what happened in WWE in this past week from February 7th to February 11th, 2022. So, of course, this is in no particular... Actually, no, it is going to be in a particular order. But everything... A lot of things that happened in WWE this week were excellent. And before I get into the top 5, some honorable mentions. LA Knight, his performance on NXT has just been great. I love everything. Like, I liked him when he was Eli Drake in Impact. And, you know, I think he also would have excelled no matter where he went, to be honest. But I think he's doing really well on NXT. I love his whole story with Grayson Waller. I know a lot of people hate Grayson Waller, but actually I think Waller is a pretty good heel. Also, Dolph Ziggler visiting NXT was great. This whole thing with him and... you know, the son, Braun Breaker, rather, I was going to say the son of Rick Steiner, but him, Braun Breaker, as well as Santos Escobar, this whole story, and then, of course, Ciampa came in. This whole story, I'm looking forward to it. Looks like it's going to become a fatal 4-way, but we don't know. We don't know for sure. So, it's going to be exciting to see, I believe. Sami Zayn, of course, his whole segment and the Zayn thing, him and Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs, is obvious that they're going to put the title on Sami Zayn. They're trying to really put over Shinsuke, but unfortunately Shinsuke hasn't wrestled like at all almost since he's been Intercontinental Champion. I know they did this before. Shinsuke, of course, is just having a good time, and that's all I care about. If he's having fun, then I'm having fun. I love the whole Rick Boogs thing, but unfortunately, I think after they take the title off of Shinsuke, we might not see much more of him. So, Toxic Attraction, I love everything about their whole heel stable on the women's division NXT. The women's division NXT is just excellent. And, you know, it's just the top-notch women's division in all of professional wrestling. And just this whole, what you see in NXT and then on Smackdown and Raw, it just goes to show you why WWE has the best women's division on earth. And finally, on honorable mentions here, EO's tag search has been, it's going to be fun. And I'm starting to wonder if we're going to see Kairi Sane or Asuka. Maybe, of course, someone who I don't know for sure, but a lot of wrestling fans out there might know. I don't know. I'm excited to see who it is, and I'm thinking they're probably going to bring someone back who hasn't been seen in a while. All right, now, on to the top 5, starting with number 5. This incredible match that stole the show on Raw, Austin Theory versus Kevin Owens. A great matchup here. You know, great way to tell the story for Austin Theory as a guy who's an up-and-comer, a guy who will be main eventing WrestleMania in a couple of years, barring some kind of unforeseen thing. You know, he is just such a good talent. Obviously, so is Kevin Owens. This is just a fun match to watch. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Also on Raw, number 4 here, we see more build for this Becky and Lita story. I know a lot of people out there will disagree with me, and I wanted to mention Bobby Lashley and his stuff, but, you know, this right here, I think is a highlight because, you know, Lita's a legend coming back. It's obvious it's for the Saudi show, but that's fine because I think it's going to be an excellent match. And, you know, I love the story. You know, Lita gets her incredible Lita salt on here, you know, her version of the moonsault. and her lead. I don't know, it's just, she's really awesome to see, and I can't wait to see what happens at Elimination Chamber. Obviously, Becky's going to get the win, but it's still going to be fun to watch. After this, we go to the Creed brothers versus Grizzled Young Veterans over in NXT during the Dusty Cup. This was an amazing match, probably the best tag team match I've seen on NXT in quite some time. Probably even the best tag team match I've watched in some time. I really dig both tag teams, and both tag teams always give it their all whenever they are out there, and this was just a lot of fun watching the Creed brothers get their win and advance to the finals of the Dusty Cup. I'm looking forward to next week. Charlotte versus Naomi on Smackdown, the main event of Smackdown this past week. What an amazing match. They had you hanging on the edge of your seat the entire time. And I don't know. This was an awesome way to put over Naomi. I mean, Charlotte obviously got the win, but Naomi looked very strong, is obviously still building towards, I believe, a WrestleMania match between her and Sonya. And I don't know, it's just a lot of fun. And if you haven't seen that match, also check that out. And then finally, the top review here of the top 5 for WWE this past week was RK Bro winning this, I guess you want to call it decathlon against, I wrote it down here, American Alphabet. It's the Alpha Academy, which I am really enjoying Chad Gable as a heel. He's been so excellent. Shush! Or in other words, as he would say, for me calling him excellent, I thank you. I love it. Obviously, little callbacks to Billy Madison, but still, I really enjoyed this whole battle between these two teams, educational wise, and this of course was kind of like a Jeopardy like segment. It was a lot of fun. I kind of want to go back and watch it again because it was great. So anyways, that's the top 5. I thank you for listening to tonight's show of the Omnicast. A lot of fun stuff in this episode, and hopefully you enjoyed it. We will catch you next week.